Welcome. Today is the 10th day of Tammuz, the 16th of July, and we are now in the third reading of Parshat Balak. And this is the most interesting part of the whole story, because here we have a talking donkey. In Hebrew, the word is aton. Aton is the female of the donkey. And this talking donkey, Balaam's donkey, a female donkey, is one of two animals that speaks in the Torah. The other one we remember, of course, is the serpent, the snake in the Garden of Eden who talked to Eve. Notice that we have here a female donkey speaking to a male, and a male snake speaking to a woman. And these are the only two instances. Now, obviously, this is pretty strange. What's even maybe more strange is the fact that in the Garden of Eden, it's not even a miracle. It just seems to be matter of course that snakes talk to people. At least here it says that God opened the mouth of the donkey, and it said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have struck me 3 times?" Now, to really understand there's a lot of symbolism here, but to really abstract this into something that will make sense to us, we have to think a little bit about the word for donkey, for the female donkey in Hebrew. The word we said is aton. And this, strangely or not, is the root of Athens in Hebrew. In Hebrew we say atuna, and the first 4 letters are just the word aton, this female donkey. There is one of the most important encounters described in the Talmud, in the Tractate of Bechorot, is between Rabbi Yoshua and the elders, the wise men of Athens, Savei de Beyatuna. And they have a heated, strong, very symbol-laden debate between them. One of the most incredible debates, I think, ever documented even. Full of similes, metaphors. There are whole books written on this debate because it has so much wisdom from both sides encapsulated into it. So it's not surprising that the donkey here is making a logical argument. The logical argument the donkey says is like this: "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times?" it says to Balaam. So Balaam answers, "For you have humiliated me. If I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now." And the donkey makes the following self-justifying argument. It says, "Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden since you first started until now? Have I been accustomed to do something like this to you?" What is the donkey saying? It's appealing to Balaam's logic, exactly like the traditional philosophy of Athens. It's coming with a logical argument. Now, I just want to point out how strange this argument really is. But at first it sounds really logical, because the donkey, speaking donkey, right, is saying, "Have I ever done something like this to you? I mean, I've been consistently trustworthy." What is the donkey saying? The donkey is saying, you can trust nature. Nature does not change. So why, Balaam, have you not been why have you not acted with trust towards me, nature? You're a donkey. I represent logic. I represent the way you should look at the world from the Athenian, Greek philosophical point of view. Induction and extrapolation. Logic. Why are you acting like a complete maniac? You should look at the world and see that nature never changes. Now, why is this such an absurd statement? It's not an absurd statement at all, because this is the statement, the argument made by every single scientist in the world about the uniformity of nature, the persistence of nature, Occam's razor, that nature is always the simplest possible explanation, and so on. But the way that the Torah presents this is the way we need to look at it in its complete form. God opened the donkey's mouth, and he said. In other words, the Torah is telling us, you got to take this with a little bit of skepticism. Why is nature able to show its constant, never-changing aspects to you? Because God opened its mouth. But you have to understand that the very existence of such a thing, a speaking donkey, that Athens should speak, that human beings can look at the world this way, this is a gift from God. This is a miracle in and of itself. So what you're describing may be very true. You see uniformity, you see constant nature, you see everything working the way it should. But understand that in the end, at the bottom of everything, it's all a miracle. It's nothing at all like what you think it is. So that's the message, the abstract message behind the speaking donkey. Look at nature, use nature, be kind to nature, but understand that the fact that nature seems to run by itself is only a miracle that is provided by God, who opened its mouth in the first place. Let's turn back to the serpent in the Garden of Eden. The serpent says something different. He comes to seduce. He's not coming to logically argue something. He's coming to seduce us. That's the difference between the mind and the heart. The donkey represents the Athenian point of view, the philosophical, logical point of view of the mind. And the mind making an argument that not everything is godly. Nature stands by itself. Here, the heart comes with a completely opposite argument. It's not that not everything is godly. It's that you have an opportunity to become God yourself, says the serpent. The reason why God commanded you not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil is because he knows that the moment that you know this, the moment you eat from it, you too will become a god. That is the seduction of the heart. A completely different type of seduction. It doesn't attack our logic. It doesn't attack the way we see the world. It's coming and offering us what one might call opportunism. Here's an opportunity. Take it now, or you'll never get it again. So the heart seduces and the mind argues. Both of them, well, we said, the donkey, if you lose sight of what's going on, you forget that it's a miracle. You forget that the existence of nature is a miracle. But when it comes to the heart, you can never even notice that it's a miracle. You can never even notice that the serpent is not supposed to be speaking because you have no other example. You never know. The serpent lives in there anyway. He's in the garden. That's what he does. That's how he acts. That's him. He's a speaking serpent. You take it naturally. There's no sign that this is a miracle. There's no sign that this is the hand of God. There's no sign of everything. You just have to carefully listen to him and understand that he doesn't want your best interest. He's not thinking about you. He's thinking about seducing you to do something that's wrong and that God doesn't want. So these are two different forms of seduction. The person that they're talking to, whether it be Balaam, who again represents here something else than himself, or Eve, the person they're talking to is us. We each have a speaking donkey, an Athens in our mind, and we all have a serpent in our heart. It's called our evil inclination. But the evil inclination is so natural. It seems to be such a natural part of the environment of the heart that it's hard to tell that there's something wrong about this whole picture. But you have to take a step back. And when you take a step back, you hear, what is he trying to tell me? He's trying to seduce me to be full of myself, to be prideful, to be an opportunist, to look at replacing, to try to replace God. He's looking for my pride. That's what he wants to seduce me to do. So these two stories are beautiful stories, and they fit so perfectly with the questions that logic presents to the mind and the seduction that the evil inclination presents to our hearts. Thank you for joining today. Hope to see you tomorrow.